Okay, there we go. All right. Welcome, Girl Chat Sports. It's Wednesday. It's a championship Wednesday. It's a back-to-back week. We talk about back-to-back a lot this episode, so make sure to stay tuned. Mo and I've got a lot to talk about, especially in regards to our Vegas Gold Knights, our Las Vegas Aces Championship celebration. We're going to talk about some hot topics. We got some Hugadores to discuss as well in there, so make sure you stay tuned throughout. But first, we want to get to our special guest. We know she's a busy lady and we want to welcome her to the show. So please welcome the head coach for the UNLV running for the UNLV Lady Rebels, Lindy La Rocque. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Good evening.
Yes,
Good
absolutely.
evening. Yes, I'm glad we have finally have you on, and we're especially grateful because we know we're like 1 week away from the season starting. So we know you've got to be slam packed, and the team has, I'm sure, been going at it for a while. I know you've been busy since I've caught up with you about a month or two ago. Kind of give us a little take on how the season's going for you guys so far preseason. I caught this a little bit, and I want you to explain some of it to you, but top 25 preseason, you guys have been ranked by the AP, which hasn't happened for UNLV women's team in over 31 years. We also have our senior Desiree Young on the watch list as well. So what's your hopes for this season? Talk about the season with us, this coming season.
Yeah, well, we've been hard at practice for about 4 or 5 weeks now. So we're kind of hitting that point in time where we're definitely ready to play some other teams. We're kind of like looking around at practice, and it's like, all right, like let's play someone else. So I think we're definitely ready for that, and just to challenge ourselves in new ways. But the last 4 or 5 weeks have been really good. Obviously our team was here during the summer, so we got to kind of get to know each other and get on the court, but it's pretty relaxed. And then school starts, and we kind of hit the ground running pretty quickly. Obviously there was the preseason stuff that came out, and it's great. I think other than that day that it came out, this is probably the only other time that I've talked about it. But we're grateful and honored to just kind of be recognized by our peers and the media for the success that we've had the last couple years, and recognizing the talent that we still have on our team, and our kind of our ability to try to do it again. I think the graphics that you showed are kind of along the same lines. We got a couple of votes in the preseason rankings, which is, again, just, I think that's fun, and kind of for our fans and our families that invest a lot and kind of know how good we are, but always say that, if everyone could just see. So I think to just get some of that national recognition is, we're grateful for that. But, we still haven't even played a single game. So we know there's a lot of work to be done. And then with Desi, the Lisa Leslie Award watch list is, it's a positional award to the best center in all of Division I basketball,
Wow.
on the women's side. And so there was, I think, a 20-person list, and we're really proud of Desi, and I think obviously we know how good of a player she is, but
Yeah.
she deserves kind of that recognition, frankly, and I'm really happy for that, because she's the only mid-major player on the whole list.
Wow.
So and I think that's a testament to her, to our team. And I think she deserves that recognition. So other than that stuff, yeah, we're about a week away from tipping off. We've got an exhibition game a week from today, so we like to kind of just think of that as a little bit of a dress rehearsal. But we'll be in uniform, and we want fans out there, and we'll be ready to go. And then kind of officially is when we tip off the following week, so November 6th, I think that is.
Okay.
It's a Monday. But yeah, it's right around the corner. So
Right around the
it
corner.
felt like a long time, and here we are. It's right in front of us.
With there was some departures last year from last year's team, and then you've, of course, you got Desi that's still there and players that have remained, but you've also got some new ladies on the team. So what have you done over the course of the summer and this early fall so far in getting everybody back on the same page, adjusting to the new lineups, and getting, I'll put it up there too. This was another one I saw on your guys' page. You got a co-freshman of the year up here, which, I mean, I guess you don't see it too often in the UNLV aspects as far as the accolades all the time. And so it's great to see these for the women here in Las Vegas, for the Lady Rebels. What is it you're doing with these new talent that you got on the team? What can we expect this season?
Yeah, well, we have high expectations as I think a lot of people have for us, which we're excited about. But I think, and from the personnel on our team, I think the biggest thing that we're proud of is that other than graduation, everyone returned. We
Love
had
it.
everyone that was on our championship team. If they didn't graduate, they came back, and I think that's a testament to our team, the culture, their camaraderie, their chemistry, and their love for one another, and kind of the experience that we're providing them. So in addition to the returners, then we added 4 freshmen and a transfer,
Mm.
which we're really excited about, all 5 of them. And so, the seniors that we did have graduate, they played some big roles. Essence Booker at the point guard, and Justice Etheridge,
Yeah.
kind of one of our mainstay wings. And so, really this summer is just kind of really getting to know a lot of these new players that we have. Obviously we recruited them in high school, or, saw them play, but, when they're kind of under your own nose, you see different things, and we just got to get to know them and their skill sets, and kind of just see the shape that our team's going to take. Again, obviously with those 2 senior guards that graduated, there's opportunity out there, and I think people are ready, but they've never played those roles. So it's just, some of that's just going to take some time, and, we're working through it. And I think, the biggest thing is we have so much talent on our team. I'm really excited. I mean, our team is really good. And, we get rowing in the same direction and put all the pieces together. We can be really good. It's still early, but we have all the talent we need. There's not like, oh, we wish we had this skill or that athleticism. Like we have a little bit of everything, which is exciting for me as a coach.
Yeah,
Well, it's
that's
exciting
great.
for the fans too,
Yeah, it
for us
is.
to be able to know
Mhm.
that this is because you guys have won back-to-back conference regular seasons as well as the tournaments for the Mountain West. So again, with our back-to-back theme here, um, you can't. I mean, that's been a miraculous journey for you guys. What does that mean as far as for you guys in like women in sports?
Well, I want to
Yeah.
piggyback on that
Oh,
question as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
You also, Coach Lindy, are known for having a lot of your students in the academia side of as well as playing sports because GPAs. Let's talk about it. A lot of these athletes that play in sports, their GPAs are of the bare minimum. You give them C average, they qualify. Your ladies have exceeded to the point where they're at 3.4 to 3.5. They've been on the dean's list. With what Mel's saying and what I'm asking as well, how does that all make it? How do you make that work? You come from academia yourself, but how do you make that work and these girls strive for success? Because I've never seen anything like that where you're pushing as well for them to academically be successful and as well as having their game be a success.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you making the connection because it's really important to me,
It
frankly.
is.
Um, and because that's important, we make it a priority. And we do that in recruiting and getting to know, these high school players, not just as basketball players, but as students, checking their transcript, and knowing those things because culturally, like for our program and our culture, the way we play, kind of the intensity, the focus, the concentration that our style of play requires. We'd like to think that like you've got to be able to do both, and on the court and off the court, because I've got this saying of how you do anything is how you do everything, and
Right.
I think
that's right.
you study in the classroom, you take that seriously, you perform well on exams, on tests, that just doesn't happen in one space in your life. A lot of times those things carry over into other areas. And for us, it's basketball. If you're going to study for your test, then I can trust that you're going to study our scouting report for a game, and if you
Mhm.
can perform under pressure and do well on an exam, it's, similar to knocking down some free throws when we really need them. So, not that that's the end all be all or,
Right.
but we put an emphasis on it, and we have great academic advising, support at UNLV, which allows us to do that. And we talk about it a lot, frankly. if you're not doing your homework, you're not going to practice, because
Wow. I like
practice is
that.
a privilege, and so for life after basketball and just life
Absolutely.
in general, you've got to do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And for like the new players that have come in, I mean, the ones that have been here for a while, that know your program, that know how you handle things, coming to Las Vegas. I mean, we see how other people, even those that are professional athletes, get in trouble out here. How is it that you help maintain these ladies and kind of focusing not so much on what's happening outside of UNLV? Because there's a lot going on, but maintain, work on the studying, work on the academia, and work on the court as well.
Well, I think that's probably a little bit of the biggest difference between like our student athletes and the professionals is that they don't have school,
Yeah.
They don't have anything else to worry about really other than
Right.
their sport. So now they dedicate a lot of time and energy and effort into that, but they have a lot of downtime, and they find their own ways to spend it. For us as and as college students is you have to get certain grades or you're not eligible. You have to, and for us and our team of you've got to perform and be a good student, abide kind of by all of the code of conduct. There's a little bit more, checks and balances, I think, for a college student than there is a professional student, a professional athlete who, obviously kind of lives to their own devices and whatever they want. So I'm grateful our players have school, and that kind of, I think, keeps them in check and keeps them busy. Their time is occupied from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and it's not just
Wow.
basketball, but it's
Right.
studying and discussions and class and tutoring, and they learn pretty quickly how if they got to manage their time, because it's precious. Otherwise, like you got to be able to sleep and eat and do all those things too.
Right.
Yeah. Do you
And you've
think
got a new
because
athletic director now, different from what we've had in the past. How has that support been, and what's it look like as far as the landscape of things? Despite the wins, what's that support looking like for his direction and what he's actually challenging all these coaches for all the different teams that we have with UNLV right now, and then including yours? What's his direction, his vision, and that?
Well, I think first off is just the support is tremendous, and obviously, you could say, well, it's easy to support us, we're winning, but I think even just the day to day, and I think his leadership and guidance, obviously we're talking about Eric Harper, our athletic director. He's a good person, and it sounds like that maybe that's silly to say, but obviously athletics is a major business operation and
Mhm.
a lot of money, a lot of stakeholders, and so sometimes like being a good person can get overlooked, or it can change. And so I think he's so authentic and real, and cares about people, from the highest paid coaches to the staff that's working the concession stand to make sure that we're still providing a good experience. I think he really sees that whole picture. So for us in our team, and I think especially the women's sports, like we feel loved, we feel supported.
That's great.
He's got great communication, and check-ins, not just like when he needs something, but and I think that's really important, and kind of to have that transparency and be able to be real and authentic, um, and engaging, is important, because it's easy to be kind of distant, when you're at the
Right.
top. It's like, oh, talk to my assistant, or
Yeah.
you know, go through these people before you get to me, and he's not like that. So we're really
That's good.
grateful for his support, and he
That's
likes
great.
ice cream, so that helps our team.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We did have a question. I know you know Miss Bollandy. Miss Bollandy had asked, with the loss of Essence Booker, who will the team look to replace those points and that leadership on the team?
Yeah, well, one of the graphics you showed was Kiera Jackson as Sixth Woman of the Year last year,
Yeah,
and then she was preseason first team all conference. And I mean, obviously, I had to kind of put the nominations out there, but those are our peers that voted that for her. So I think it's pretty clear, that she's going to kind of fill in and step into that point guard role. Now she's very different than Essence, a different player, kind of different skill set. But she's had the last 2 years to kind of really learn and feel that. And so now she's stepping into it. She's got the experience, she's prepared, and she just needs to continue to learn and do it her own way. I joked with her the other day of, you're not Robin anymore. Now you're Batman, and so, and that's good,
Yeah.
and so she just the longer we kind of go throughout the season, I know she's going to continue to flourish and lead our team. So, um, will she score as many points or, we'll kind of see how that all plays out, I'm sure. But when it comes to leading the team and who's going to be dribbling the ball down the court, it's going to be Kiera. She's going to be, commanding the floor, and, she'll, she's already kind of in my head already of like, we're thinking on the same page. So I like
Good.
that. And, when the game's on the line, where the ball's going to be in her hand.
That's great.
Awesome. That
I love
is.
it. So something that me and Mo have talked about before is kind of like, your coaching style, how you get along with your players. We've seen it, and just how it worked with the Aces and Becky Hammon being there, how those women seem to really work with what she's doing. And similar for you, having been a player, having been in the same
Right.
level as these ladies have been, do you feel like that's something like an advantage for you? Because you've played the D1 level, you're coaching the D1 level, you're still, you're not like an older gentleman in his 60s doing it. So you have more something that you can understand and kind of vibe with. Maybe they respect it more. I'm not sure, but it seems to have worked for you as well, just as well as for Becky. What do you think about that kind of dynamic between coach and player?
Yeah, well, I think, maybe that could be a similarity for Becky and I right now, just kind of where we're at. Like, right, we're really relatable to our teams and to our players right now. Like the older I get, then the age gap between myself and players will continue to grow. So that will like change and shift. And the same goes for her. But, I think it's just I think that's important. Obviously, like you said, I played at the Division 1 level, but I think more than anything, I've also played every role on the team.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I was a starter. I was a bench player that never saw time on the court. I kind of played, on the middle of the bench where it was like I could play a bunch of minutes one game and then not get in the next game. So, obviously at the time, those times were frustrating, but I think that's where I can, I try to use my own personal experience to, help guide our team and keep them really connected and valued at every role. And just know what they're going through.
Yeah.
I wasn't the leading scorer only on our team. Actually I never was. So, I can't relate to Desi. I mean, like I don't know. I was never the leading scorer. I wasn't the leading scorer since probably high school. So that was a long time ago. But and I think it's similar for Becky, right? And just her connection with the players and the trust that's built. She was a great player. She's one of the best to ever play, but her path wasn't easy, and so she was small or she was undersized and, not athletic. And so I think she probably could say that she's played a lot of different roles on the team too that can help her understand her own team better.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And Coach, I gotta ask, did you ever think this was going to be your destiny? What got you to the love of basketball? What got you to the love of the game? Because what you majored in and what you graduated in and what you mastered in is nothing it is somewhat applicable to what you're doing, but it's not the career that you've chosen. You've chosen this coaching career and you found a love for basketball. What started all of that from the beginning?
Yeah, well, I think, the educational piece is interesting, right?
Right.
You can't really major in basketball, and I guess maybe you can now at major in coaching or something of the like. But I was exposed to basketball at a really young age, by my parents. And my dad was a high school teacher and coach here in town, and so I was grateful to just always be in the gym and around the game. And so I think as I, kind of fell in love with the game as a player and then figuring out, well, what would I want to do with my life? And, I love my childhood. I thought like my parents are obviously the greatest people ever. I think they're the
Mhm.
best parents ever, and they're both school teachers. And so, I wanted to emulate that. And so teaching, I think in general was something that I always knew I wanted to do. Um, my university didn't have a teaching undergrad, so that was or an education undergrad. So if I, could do it over, then that would probably be what I did. But I think teaching is I kind of always knew that's what I wanted to do, and then basketball is just a different classroom, and
Yeah,
so
right.
that's kind of where I've put. I guess you could probably call it two loves together. Of I love teaching. I love um, helping and impacting others. And then I love basketball. So then I put them together kind of by coaching.
If you
Awesome.
love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right?
Right.
Yeah. Amen. Amen to that.
And speaking
How's
of,
Ellie? I gotta know how
yeah,
Ellie's doing. How's
definitely.
she how's she taking all this in with the girls, and how's she doing?
She's great. She's great. I think my husband's putting her down for bed here
Okay.
now. So, but she'll be a year old next week,
Oh
which
my
is
God.
I know, which
I
is
took
yeah,
some
Oh,
pictures off here. There we go.
yeah,
look at
she
So
is.
Ellie. She's so
talk
cute.
about though, not only being a championship coach, a coach of the year, a wife, a new
And a
mother.
mother.
How is it that you balance all this
Right.
while still recruiting, while still going to events and functions like how we met you there? It's just, where do you find the time?
Um, I think I've tried to be really intentional. I think I was even before I was a mom. But I think if anything, it really has made that even bigger in my life of just being really intentional with my time. And then, and when I'm somewhere to just be really present. If I'm at home, then be at home and be present with Ellie and play with her and make her dinner. And then when I'm at work, I need to be at work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and do that. And when I'm on a date with my husband, because our time is limited now, then I need to be really present, and because we don't know when the next time we're going to go on a date. Um, so I think that's kind of been maybe the biggest thing, and or how I do it all is, I'm not perfect, and there's a lot of probably even better moms out there, but I just try to, similar to coaching, if I try to do the very best that I can that day,
Good.
and be really intentional with my time. Try to plan it out, that always helps. Just trying to plan a little bit, and yeah, just being really present and intentional. And you can beat yourself up for a million things almost every day, but I think just try to do the next right thing of whatever that might be, and be a good mom and be a good coach and a good wife. And
Right.
um, some days are going to be better than others, and then you try to be a little bit better the next day. So that's kind of my approach. But I think just being really intentional and present with my time has kind of been the biggest um, you know thing that I've kind of really focused on, so I can be as good as I can at all the different roles.
And
That's
part
great.
of public opinion, a lot of people, you still have those naysayers out there about the women's sports, especially women's basketball, not taking it seriously, be it college, be it WNBA. We've seen Caitlin Clark do what she did. We've seen what you ladies have done. Have you seen more of a growth of support or a quash of the naysayers, or just kind of omitting what naysayers say to prove them wrong, or just to drive you even harder? What is your take as far as the growth of women's basketball as it stands right now, and the looks that we're getting, and the national televised media attention that's become of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's amazing. Just even the last 2 3 years, the growth in broadcasting and production, availability, visibility, exposure, all of that. And to be honest, we even see it at like the grassroots level when we're recruiting over the summer and all the different, you know, AAU tournaments and things. There's more girls involved than there ever has been, and I think that's important. And trying to keep them there is important. Um, but I think it's so positive to where, like you said, the naysayers now, it's nice that maybe some of that script has been flipped, where it was,
Yeah.
the us of the minority were the ones that we had to fight and really speak up and speak up loud for the whole room because we might be, the only one in there. And now it's flipped to where, there's rooms that are positive, and if you're going to be the one to bash it, like now people are looking at you like you're crazy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and people have their opinion, and that is what it is. But I think just the growth of the game, exposure, it takes everyone, and whether you're the player or the coach or the fan or the business owner or just the mom or whatever it may be, everyone kind of plays a part in that, and
Right.
it's just really exciting. I mean, obviously here in town with us and the Aces, and
Yeah.
it's just like it's motivating too,
It is.
It's a real
and
sports mecca these days, and
It
to have
is.
all this and then all the basketball and the AU tournaments that come here as well. And you've got all the D1 basketball tournaments and you've got everything else that's coming to the city. It's just amazing to see the power of sports and especially the women in sports. I know you guys had like a little team watch party for the Aces championship game, which was wonderful to see. We'll kind of share that together. Um, what does it mean for you and the team to know that, these other women are doing great things in the city? And what does it do to encourage the team to maybe want to go out for your own, like, repeat device there, even say, I mean, to be really pushing that limit to keep striving for higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it, like Las Vegas in general is like the sports capital of the world really right now, but how I think it impacts us is, I mean, the Aces are so great because we have access to them,
Right.
and
Yeah,
I think that we try to do that and have access to the high school, the community that looks at us the same way we look at the Aces. I think that's all part of the growth, the development of the game. And so, again, like them winning, of course, it's like there were no bigger fans than us. And
yeah,
Right.
because it's a little bit of like the more attention they can get, then, if we can steal a fraction of that, great, you know.
I feel
Um,
like you have.
yeah, and I mean there's women's basketball fans here in town,
Yeah.
and largely
absolutely.
and you could say largely because of the Aces, which is I'm cool with that, like, and then come check out one of our games and you might become a fan of ours too, which is all positive. So, I think, the Aces as the organization, they've been really outreaching, in the community. They've been a great partner with us, and so I think our players we're fortunate to kind of have a little bit of access to them, which kind of gives us, the same, humbled feeling that it's our duty to be accessible to the people that look at us that way too. That's why we have a camp. That's why
Absolutely.
we
Right.
that's why we, hang out on the court after the games and stuff, because it's meaningful and impactful.
So and if coming from a fan perspective, one thing me and Mo love to represent is also a fan's perspective because we both are diehard fans of
Fans.
teams
Yeah,
and groups. We
absolutely.
love
And
fans.
I grew up here. UNLV was my only university. Of course, I'm going to be Team UNLV all day.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not going to name names, but you guys play at Cox, and there's another team that plays at Thomas and Mack. And with your guys' success over these last few years, we're just curious, like, are we going to get a chance to the Lady Rebels, be at Thomas and Mack to play any games this season?
Yeah, absolutely you are.
Okay.
Which
Good.
is exciting, and I hear all that, and I think it's all great, mainly because we had 2 sellouts last year, in
Yeah.
Cox Pavilion,
Yeah.
and that's huge, the first ones ever
Huge.
in school history. And so, like, I've got a plan in place for that, and our administration is totally supportive. This year, our marquee, but I think it's important to be strategic, you
Yeah.
know,
Absolutely.
because it is about providing and trying to have a great atmosphere for our team. And so we have to continue to build that fan base and have people come and come back for more. Um, but for this season, our schedule is out, and we're our marquee home game is we're playing Arizona, a big team that we played a couple years ago in the tournament.
Yeah.
They're just across the desert, and we're playing them in Thomas and Mack on
Yes.
a
Okay.
Saturday. Yeah,
That's what.
the first Saturday in December, and frankly, I'm, like, kinda testing our people, I'm testing the community of, like, you see the volleyball playing in the football stadium and having
Yeah.
90,000. You
Yeah.
see, Iowa in the football stadium, and they had 55 or something. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, well, like, what's stopping us from getting 10, 12, 13,000 in the Thomas and Mack for this game? You kind of need a perfect storm, and I think this is one. It's a
Yeah.
2 o'clock game on a Saturday. Football's done. There's the men aren't playing, and
Look,
let's
me and Mo are going to be circling this in our December 1st.
Absolutely. And
yeah,
we've got a lot of alumni out here that are just diehard UNLV running rebels. So why not?
yeah,
They live for a lot of these
Absolutely.
games. They live for going to TNM, and
yeah.
then the students that show up. And how's that reception been with the students? The students, you have your band and that sometimes playing with the other teams, but how has the student reception been to you guys? As far as part of that sellout and just for even your regular season with the games, how's the student attendance been for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's growing. I think I appreciate the effort of our marketing department to try to reach students. I mean, UNLV is a commuter school,
Yeah.
and so students
Yeah.
can live all over the valley, and and so you got to kind of create a draw to get them here, other than sometimes just the game.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be really creative and innovative, and the students that come, I know, have a great time. I think some of our best support is from other student athletes.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
great.
The volleyball team is like always sitting front row heckling the
That's
other
great.
team.
I love
Football and soccer, and there's a lot of other student athletes that come, which I
That's
think that's the
awesome.
start. It
it.
starts with
Mhm.
supporting other student athletes, and then we want to continue to reach out to our student population, especially the young ones, the freshmen that kind of do have to live near and around campus.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you can get them early, then a lot of times they'll come back. So
They'll keep
um,
coming.
Great.
yeah, we've tried to do that, but obviously we always think there can be better and more, and so we're
Absolutely.
gonna continue to work on that.
We're going to
Absolutely.
try. Let's go for
Well,
more
we're gonna spread the
sellouts
word
this year
too.
for
I mean, we
sure.
went to a game last season and I had a great time, and I thought it was just exhilarating to see the ladies really play up and play ball and be defensive and be very strong offensively. I mean, all of the moves and all of the units that you had out there, I mean, were very much so highlighted with special talents. There was not an untalented player you had on your team. They
Yeah,
Yeah.
all brought something.
And
And
not
I
to
think that
downplay Cox. Cox is a great arena. Like you
yeah, it's
guys
so
really, it's
intimate
a
enough
great
to
seating,
analyze and
very
see all of
intimate.
that.
Everybody
Yeah.
has a great view. We just would
Right.
love to see it on a bigger stage. Just like
Oh,
how Aces got
absolutely.
to play at T-Mobile and have a little bit of a bigger stage. We'd like to give the
yeah,
opportunity and see the Lady Rebels. But we know your time is limited. We want to get you out
Yeah.
there. Before you go, I do want to just let you talk a little bit about this that's happening this weekend. So you got the Halloween Spooktacular this Saturday. It looks like a trunk or treat with Lady Rebels. And
yeah.
so give us a little bit about what's happening here on Saturday from 5 to 7.
Yeah, well, this will kind of be, for our season ticket holders or the fans or you guys or anyone. This is like your first sneak peek into seeing the team on the court. So we like to do also a family event with it. Last year we did a carnival, so this year it's kind of so close to Halloween. We're like,
Yeah.
well, let's do a trunk or treat. So it's from 5 to 7. So the first hour from 5 to 6 will kind of be out in the plaza area in front of the Cox Pavilion, Thomas and Mack, and we're going to have cars out there, and there's going to be snow cones and popcorn and
Nice.
games. So
Nice.
our team will be out there in costume. We want, all of the families and their young children or anyone to dress up in costume and come hang out with us.
Oh,
And then
cool.
the second half, kind of right at the 6 o'clock hour, I'm going to send the team in and put their shoes on and put their practice gear on, and then have an hour practice to where our fans can kind of see us on the court and what this team looks like and see some of the new faces for the first time, and
Great.
kind of get your first opinions of everyone. And yeah, there's obviously all the stuff beforehand, but for season ticket holders, kind of the giveaway item was the replica jerseys, so those can be
Oh,
picked up. There'll
cool.
be a photo
Awesome.
booth, and so just a really fun, engaging, kind of event with our fans. We'll be on the court, and it's close to Halloween, so might as
Yes.
well be in costume for a
We
little
love
bit.
it. We love
I
Halloween
like
too.
that.
So that's
And I love
great.
Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday, by the way, because my birthday
Yeah,
is that month, is
I'm
in the
I'm
month
up
of
there with
October.
you.
So
So Yeah, I know.
Favorite.
Our team will be in
Awesome.
costume because I'm requiring that. So
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
And
Yeah.
do you know what you're
Yes.
dressing up as, or you're not going to disclose it?
oh no, we do. So like for this event, I'll have a costume, but then we kind of do a team costume
Okay.
practice, and
Okay.
it's always like a big surprise. Our staff is really kind of outperformed our team in the costume, but they swear their costumes are going to be better than us this year. So,
I like it.
we'll
I
see
like
on
the
the day of.
competition. I like the competition. Keep it surprised.
Yes.
That's great.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Lindy, thank you so much. We wish you the best
Yes,
success
thank
this
you,
year.
Lindy.
We hope to see the ladies go even farther than they've been before, as far as even in the tournament, should you guys get there as well. We're hoping for it. We're hoping for 3-peat. We're hoping for the sellout crowds. We're hoping for all the love and support that the city and others can give you guys, Lady Rebels. And we appreciate your time so much. And yeah, best wishes. Please, we'll catch you this season.
And
Yeah,
pinch those cheeks of Ellie's for me.
I will.
Pinch it.
I
She's
will.
so cute.
Thank you
Thank
guys so
you.
much. It's
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
great to be with you.
Bye.
Yes. Coach Lindy La Rocque. Man,
Yes.
I'd say
Amazing.
UNLV's best and finest out there in the world of collegiate sports, especially women's sports with the women's basketball team.
Yeah.
She has truly made her mark, not only on court, but off court. And yeah, what a
Amazing.
great
I mean,
interview and great talk to her. Thanks for
listen.
everybody that joined the chat on that.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you guys
You
tuning
really
in.
can't. You really can't. I'm ready. I'm ready for the season. I'm ready to see more
Me too.
games.
I'm excited about that T&M game. Like, I need
Man.
all hands
And
on
here's the
deck in
kicker.
Vegas.
F1 will be done by then. So that we won't get to deal with
Exactly.
that
So hopefully
BS.
traffic should not be a excuse or an
Yes.
issue to get over there.
Yeah. Because that's
Mhm.
listen, I'm hyped.
Hey,
You
I'm
know, it's
very
like you're
hyped. I
riding a
think
wave.
it's
We're
amazing. Like I
riding the
said, I
wave.
had
We're
fun at
riding
the
the
game
wave.
last season. The game
Right.
last season was so much fun.
Man.
So
All
what
right.
else we got up on the
Man.
mark tonight? We
You
got
know, there's a lot.
get into
There's
the
always a lot.
Maces. We gotta
I
get into
know.
the Maces.
We got to
Gotta go
get into the aces. We got to get into the aces. So, of
Yeah.
course, our aces won the championship. We talked about it last week on a live, which a lot of people watched our YouTube and are really excited about it. So it was great to see. We got to get down there in the celebration. We enjoyed our time. You know, we got to see a lot of we got to see a lot of great stuff. We watched a little bit of the parade. Here's just a little, let me see if I can find it, just a little bit of the intro where Buckets rolls in. He was on lowriders for the beginning of it, as well as the women on the third bus. Oh, Mo left. That was the parade, the beginning of it. There was so much more. We got to see we got to see Sydney. Sydney was
Sydney
was
something else.
live the entire celebration. I don't know what brand of power cord she has or how many she has, but in this video you see it's a big one, but this one was live for the entire thing. So just
what to say. Sydney, do it. Right? Okay. And what else?
Yeah, they were turned. They were lit. And rightfully so. You would be if I want a back-to-back. And the rings and things that are
absolutely.
coming is going to be probably just the most dazzling. You notice how much bigger the trophy was compared to last season.
Hello.
So imagine that
The
ring is going to be even bigger.
Well, and Asia mentioned it. She mentioned like the first ring was fly, but this second ring about to be fire.
This one is going to be. Listen, I'm ready. I'm ready to see that.
Listen, we've got more Kelsey Plum cigar picks. Everybody had their back-to-back swag on. Big shout out to Clever Shirts. He basically lined the whole group on whatever they wanted from Asia's shirt, which had the voting in the back of it for the MVP voting. Asia even shouted out the one person who voted her fourth. I think he did Chelsea's shirt, Jackie's shirt. and
Yeah,
a
he
few
customizes
others.
all
So
shirts. You guys need to follow Clever Shirts with a K on
absolutely.
Instagram because he can hook up
And
that
I don't
swag
know
for
who
you.
did CJ's little outfit, but she had her nice little
I don't
gown
either, but I
on.
needed her to stop talking about having Tank take his shirt off when he was
I
like,
heard she
"This is
was.
a
I heard
kids
she was
show."
very thirsty when Tank showed up. So here's the deal:
Yeah, he was like, "This is a kids show."
the celebration ended about 6:30, 6:45. The plan was for 2 Chainz to be on and to be over at 7. They announced about 6:45ish, 7 that he wouldn't be there for 30 minutes because his PJ was late. So I had to dip. It was happening,
The
but
thing
I
of it
know
is, they treated the crowd like it was Dre's, and we had to wait till 4 in the morning for some artists to come out. So
right. And then they
literally,
threw
you
on
bring out an
Tank
opening
singing
act
love
like Tank who sings
songs.
nothing but slow ballads, love ballads, and can't even get explicit with the one that's the most popular and current song that's on the radio. Then she's asking for the shirt to come off, not once, not twice, but multiple times. And he's like, "There are kids here. I'm just gonna
Man,
sing and do my
listen.
thing, not taking no shirts off." But 2 Chainz finally showed up. And from what I say
And
on
put
the
on a
reviews of everyone
performance.
that was
Yeah.
still there, it was very, very lit. It just went from 0 to all the way to 120, not even 100. We'll give it more. That it
Yeah.
just was turned the crowd all the way back
It
up.
just, there was too much of a gap where a lot of fans started. There was still a good amount of fans there because they say that tens of thousands of fans were there. I don't know the exact number, but a good majority, like I'd say like a good quarter to half had left in that stagnant time where they didn't have
I mean, a
nobody.
weeknight and it's getting late, and you do have the kids, and they've got
Yeah.
school the next day, so I get
It would
it.
have been just
And to your
nice to
point,
have
put
it
it ended right
end.
where the fireworks were. When the
Yeah,
fireworks
ended
and
after the
everything comes
fireworks.
down.
Let the ladies come down the red carpet again, give everybody hugs, surprises, whatever. But then you saw the end of Sydney's live after everything. It wasn't nobody really around them. There was a handful of people, but there wasn't. It was time to go.
Shout out to Raising
And
Cane's too for supplying those girls with food because I was
yeah.
mad that they were caniacs. I like canes too. They were able to grub on their
Oh, I will
canes,
say
drink,
this.
eat.
I don't know how long it took them to get this together, but they need to take more time for future parades because I will say this: the T-shirts they gave out, the towels they gave out are all recycled. There was no year, no world championships, no back-to-back, no nothing. Even the first year they had world champs T-shirts they were tossing out.
I don't know
T-shirts
what
they
the
were
reason
tossing this
was for the
time.
rush of this, but we complained when it took 2 weeks. Then when we
Right.
get it immediately, we're complaining that they should have waited. So we don't know what's the even medium for that. And it probably was unexpected because even like them, I felt like the organization thought they were going to a Friday game.
105, yeah.
So I'll take it. Whatever the celebration can be.
I mean, it was great. It was, seeing the fireworks, all the they had probably 30 times as much confetti than they did the first year. I'll say that much.
Listen, hey, I'll take it. If anything is not
Yeah.
interfering with that Formula One, and I was going down the strip seeing how that was looking, it's coming together very strong and very fast, and it looks really good. Within 2 weeks, you got that event going, so it's fine. And like you said,
Right.
you know what the girls have planned after the season. Asia hurt her wrist. We still don't know what that's all about. And
Someone
not
on
for
our live
nothing.
she was playing with a bum thumb the entire finals.
Oh my God. And then not for nothing, they got Usher coming up. Usher has responded. He has answered. He has invited them to their show. They got plans.
Yeah.
They got plans.
He had a whole video, because Asia was calling him out last year, this year, nothing. He said he was busy. He couldn't make it. So then Sydney and Asia got into a little Twitter war. Sydney had mentioned Asia hit us in the group chat talking about we got invited to see Usher, but now that I'm seeing the video, she was invited, which is cool. That's fine, but why lie to your teammates? And so Asia said, oh, Sydney scores 2 points in game 4 and thinks she can get Usher tickets now.
Well, the whole team's going now.
Oh, for sure. They absolutely.
And shout out to, he invited the whole team to come. And shout out to, even after they partied at T-Mobile or at Toshiba, they partied over at Resort World. Resort World, one of the newer properties, hosted them at Fuhu. They had a whole thing with that. And I mean,
but you know what I found interesting? There was no Kelsey in the pictures. There was no Asia in the pictures. I'm just wondering if those two went too hard and had to go home and take a nap. Because
I think they were there and probably didn't want pictures.
I don't know. There was no not a one in the video. There was, I don't know.
Don't mean they weren't there.
I'm not gonna say
they probably weren't.
I don't know. I'm just
You
curious.
don't know.
It was
Sometimes
everybody
you
was
got to
going a little
party.
hard.
Sometimes you got to party when you're not out in the open.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
You're
get
taking
it.
enough photos for the night. Now you're in adult time with the after hours at
Right.
food and maybe the club. You may,
Yeah.
turn up
Hey.
and be able to.
Asia has some words for the fans. She's definitely says that we running it back.
It just means that I got a lot more work to do, and we coming back. We coming back, baby. We gonna do this shit again. Let's do this shit.
Yeah. I'd like to see the 3 p.m. I want to see that 3
of our starters. We got everybody till 2025, 2026.
Yeah.
I think it's only Candace and maybe Alicia that didn't only had 1 year contracts. I'm not even sure if it was Alicia did or not, but I know Candace only 1 year. So depending on what she does,
He is Stokes
we're
an extension too.
We're gonna. I don't know. We are gonna have to fill. We're gonna have to fill the spot for that we don't have. We've been missing, and then there's gonna be maybe a couple moves, maybe, but for the most part, this is the same team going back at it.
Oh, well, yeah, same starting solid 5 or 4. I'll say we'll stay. Yeah. Shout out to anybody that went to got their Chelsea Gray autograph today. She was at Dick's Sporting Goods. You had to be there at 9 o'clock to get your tickets and then go. And I was happy that I was able to go last season and get my wonderful Chelsea Gray autograph. I wish I had my bobblehead too to have her sign it, but there was no way I could get to the mall and do that.
I just want to know who's going to be on the bobblehead next season.
Well, there's a page where you can order a whole bunch of bobbleheads with them holding championship trophies in their white likeness.
Really?
I haven't opened the box of my Chelsea Gray one. I want her to sign it, not opened, sealed, original, perfection.
Well, I got all my little Vegas ones open,
Yeah. The only one I have open is my Ico little figurine thing, but I'm not opening none of my Aces bobbleheads.
Well, for anybody else out there that might have missed the pop-up shops, there is another pop-up shop going to be this Sunday at the Aces headquarters from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you missed out, you were celebrating too hard, or the line was too long.
That line was long.
Yeah. So Sunday will be the pop-up shop at the Aces headquarters. So make sure you make your way on out there. Yeah. The Maces, boy. The Maces. We got to talk about these guys too. These Gold Knights, 7-0, starting the season off.
These Knights are on fire. And then they play Chicago Blackhawks again on Friday at home.
This is the best season start to a reigning championship, champion. It's unbelievable. And last game that they won 3-2, Shia Theodore scored the last goal with under a minute left.
That was a late game too. That was an 8 o'clock at night game. That game did not end until like 10:30 something.
And shout out to Weeks because he's my hockey guru. Because I'm still actively learning the hockey world. We love our Knights. We're trying. So yesterday was the Frozen Frenzy. This is only happens once in a blue moon where all 32 NHL teams play. There are 16 games. It's all in one night. Hence why we had a late game, because there was games on early. There was all 16 games in one night. This doesn't happen much. So
no wonder.
The all-time goals, I think, is 102 goals, which was, we did 102 goals last night, which is tied for the third most goals in an all-time single one day. The first game was at 3:30 p.m. with Toronto, the first goal. The last goal was, of course, Shia Theodore at 10:45 p.m. Pacific time. So it was a long, long day of hockey. But that's the Frozen Frenzy, because so Frozen Frenzy is basically like a red zone for hockey. You turn it on ESPN and you're watching all the highlights from all the games on scoring. That's what I liked. That was enjoyable.
Yeah, when my brother told me last night he was going to the Knights game, I was like, 8 o'clock? You going to do that? He was like, yeah, I'm going to be in there. It's like, wow.
I don't care. I got this.
Yeah, that's a late night. I was knocked out at 10:30 and saw the update. And, not for nothing, who they played, they're no slouch either. And the fact that, it was two
the Flyers?
No. The whole time, huh?
Yeah, the Flyers.
Yeah, the Flyers. I was like, oh, man, are we going to ever score? And then they scored. We won. I'm like, what? Let's go.
Yeah. We also would be remiss if we didn't even acknowledge also, because we've talked a lot of stuff about them before, but the UNLV football team is bowl eligible. I can't say what bowl that would really be, but
they've been winning some
6-1.
Games. I gotta give them their props. They've been in.
They got to give them credit. They're 6-1.
They're the only wins that I see in Allegiant.
Listen,
they're the only wins.
We'll talk about your Allegiant team in a sec.
No, we're gonna talk about Wemby real quick. Wemby's debut is tonight. I'm just gonna segue into NBA real quick because NBA season kicked off yesterday. My Lakers did not do what they were supposed to do against the reigning champs, the Denver Nuggets, last night. And I didn't expect them to. But Golden State
didn't even show up the second half.
Well, I don't think they could have. I'm more disappointed with Golden State losing by 4 points against a Phoenix Suns team.
Listen,
I'm more disappointed in that. I wasn't expecting much from my Lakers, even though our Lakers, we started 2-10 early on in the season. We start out this way, so I'm not tripping. I'm more so driven about Golden State acquiring the Chris Paul and all that hoopla.
It's
and
Chris
they
Paul.
go up against Phoenix
what are you expecting?
In Golden State and lose by 4 points.
But Phoenix has a revamped team.
Man, revamped is an understatement. I did not know they were that loaded.
I'm saying
my
that
God.
owner who's putting all the money into the Phoenix teams, he's the one that's also building the women's practice facility. Like, he's doing a whole sweeping and cleansing in Phoenix.
I did not know they were that loaded. And I'm not even talking about the Kevin Durant factor. I'm just talking about all these bigs they got on the team and that can shoot. And I'm just like, what's his name? Yusuf? I don't remember his name. They got Nurkic. They just got a squad. They're loaded. I just couldn't believe it. And then I was like, oh my God, so is there? Like, what you got? Like, I'm like, man, fantasy's going wild.
Do you have highlights? Do you have something for Wemby? I know that Wemby mentioned that he wanted to play every season this year, which I know made Chuck happy because Chuck went on a whole rant during the, first of all, thank God that NBA on TNT is back because we got to love our guy Shaq and Chuck and Ernie and Kay. But, Chuck went on a whole rant about load management. And if you can play, you can play. If you're injured, you're injured. Like, there's no in between. Like,
if you're making $40 to $50 billion a year, why can't you not show up for work?
Right.
Basically,
you're getting asked to work 3 to 4 days a week, getting $50 million a year.
Yeah.
You should play.
I can't fault him for that at all. I can't.
And Wemby's saying he wants to play every game. Let's go, Wemby. Listen, watching his highlights
play every game if he wants to. The Spurs are only up by 4 points, and Wemby's only scored 6. His rebounds right now, as we're looking, is like 3. You're 7 foot, sir. Correction. You're 7'4". You are taller than the Joker. Joker stands at 7 foot. You're 7'4". Luka Doncic, who's your other big to go up against, Luka is already in double digits, 16 points. Like, they're playing, like, you have to understand, Wemby is going to be a swatter, but he's also a freshman coming into this veteran.
Well, he also has handles too. He has handles for his size.
I just need to see more points out of him. I kind of want to watch this game to see what's going on. But this was it.
It's a halftime now. We'll be done soon. We'll be able to catch that.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah. Well, it looks like 12.12. Yeah,
his numbers ain't looking that nice, but
not nice so far. It could be like his first day of school jitters. Like
it's freshmen. That's what I'm saying. He's a freshman. It's going up against these seniors and junior college kids. It's the same thing.
Absolutely. All right. Today, you also share with us that the North Las Vegas is going to be partnering with the Golden Knights. They're going to be working as part of this. Wherever the Fiesta and the Texas casino used to be that they tore down. So it's going to be like it's called Hilo Park. It's like a mixed use development. They're going to have a hockey center there with like 2 sheets of ice, holds up to around 3,000 people. There's going to be a hotel. There's going to be residential spaces, restaurants, retail, outdoor spaces, sports bars.
Wait for the increase of residential homes go up another ton.
Just so we know clear, this is on Vegas. This is like Vegas and Rancho. So right across the street from Walmart. Walmart is right across the street. So they haven't torn down Walmart. So all this is going to go right next to Walmart.
You're between Lake Mead and Cary.
Yeah.
That's where Texas was. Fiesta sat on the other side of Lake Mead and then Vegas Drive. It's going to be a huge metroplex. Like I said, it's going to be an area. Just look for the gentrification in it all. The residential rate is going to go up. A lot of things will probably go.
Oh, yeah. Those apartments are going to be for low income for sure. I would. They need to be.
That's gone. And then for them to advertise and say a new sports team is coming to Northtown, that's such a misleading thing for
a new professional sports team is coming to North Las Vegas. No, it's not. You're getting an ice rink, okay? You're getting an ice rink. Let's be honest. You're getting an ice rink, so you can have
Boy, the
practices.
clickbait was there because I
There'll
clicked
be
it. I'm like, wait a minute,
tournaments
huh?
and
What? Say what? This ain't no news. This is about us.
But hey, it's still
Wow.
good for North Las Vegas. But it is funny that they wanted to make it sound like some professional team was going to be playing out of North Las Vegas, because they're not.
Well, it looks like the A's finally sealed the deal, and they're going to go where the Tropicana is supposed to be. And I saw the mock-up of that last tonight.
Here we go. Here we go.
Wow. The A's are going to be here. They're coming.
I just hope they get that
2025 is when they're gonna
whole
start
stadium filled
construction.
out.
2028 is when it's supposed to be finished. So we will be having the A's by 2028.
So they're going to be at the ballpark, most likely playing for a couple years then.
Yeah,
huh?
that's what I'm thinking. But
Wow,
looking at
it's
the
gonna be
mock-up of it,
crazy. It's going to be
interesting. I
crazy
wonder
up
if they're
there
gonna be
too.
misters. Yeah, I just wonder if they're going to be misters. I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
Speaking of MLB,
Yeah,
thank God
the Astros are done.
Astros are not in the World Series. Y'all done lost so badly that y'all done forced Dusty Baker to retire.
Man, Dusty said,
Shout
I'm
out to
done.
Dusty Baker, though.
He
It
is
was a great run, Dusty.
outro.
Enjoy your retirement. Have fun in Cancun, fishing, do whatever you want
I'm
to do.
out. Although it was surprising, listen, we saw 2 7-game ALCSs and an NLCS. So we saw a full 7 games, which was pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was great baseball, both sides. Unfortunately, the Vegas kid Bryce Harper couldn't do it with the Phillies.
Oh,
They couldn't
yeah.
make it.
I was happy about that, too.
Diamondbacks. Listen, this team, I didn't even know the Diamondbacks were great until they swept your team. And I was like, wait a minute, how did...
As a Dodger fan, I will take that honor if they go on to win a World Series. Because I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
we lost to a team that won a World Series. I can't be mad.
You can't be mad at that at all. Oh gosh, so
I'm
much.
rooting for them. I hope they do well. Our other desert across the way, I hope they do well. Because I can
Right.
then say, we lost to a World Series contender, so I'm not gonna be shook about that.
Okay. What about your Raiders team? There were some fans out at the Aces game that showed a sign that said, Becky Hammon is the best, fire Josh McDaniel.
Shout out to my Raiders guy, Silver and Black, who confronted Mark Davis at the celebration parade with the fire Josh McDaniels, also signage. Had a brief little conversation with him of muscling him into, we got winners here with the Aces, but you got this coach here and we've been losing. I'm on the same train with the fire of Josh McDaniels. I think he needs to go. I don't think it's been no secret that he needs to go. I think it's been transparent with the players. Max Crosby literally went up to Rich Bisaccia after the Green Bay Packers game and said, come back to us. We need you. So if it doesn't get no more transparent than that, and then you've got Devontae Adams asking for a trade, cannot blame him if you're not drafting plays.
I mean, what is the tie? What's the tie Mark has to him that makes this so hard to do? Because obviously Mark loves winners. He loves championships. He wants to come back for 3 with the Aces. He wants to do more. What's so hard for him to make the move?
I think it's contracts. Something. I don't know. I don't know. But we're going to lose one of the best wide receivers in the league if we don't act right. And to the words of Aaron Rodgers,
hey, we'll take him.
The Manning brothers, throw the ball to Devontae any kind of way you want it. I bet you he will catch it. That is the type of player Devontae Adams is. It doesn't matter how tight the slot is or whatever.
Just toss it. Just toss it. He'll find a way.
Trust him to do so. But the flaming of Josh McDaniels is not as nearly entertaining as the flaming on X of Derek Carr. I'm loving now that everyone from Saints World is now seeing the quarterback that we've seen for all of these years. The flaming and roasting of Derek
Broncos
Carr
and Wilson. Yeah.
Was the best thing that made my Sunday week. Next to the 49ers.
That's how I felt about the Niners loss. The Niners loss really stunk in and made the whole championship celebration, along with the Niners losing to the Vikings, even more of a great Monday,
It did.
And lo and behold, it looks like Brock Purdy injured. He's got a concussion protocol.
Yeah.
There was fans in the comments that were like, when did he get concussed? And apparently he has started showing signs while he was on the plane, which means Sam Darnold is
good
up
old
in
Sam
next.
Darnold from the Jets. The same Sam Darnold that couldn't pull it off with the Jets is coming in for relief.
The Niners used to have like 6 quarterbacks sitting there ready, and now they have Sam Darnold to back up
Well,
Brock
49er
Purdy.
fans will say, shout out to Goose and Quan. They'll say, "Oh, it's only a week." Yeah, you don't know.
You got this. So me and Quan had a conversation. I posted on my timeline because I was hilarious. I told him, I said, I'm hoping for Coco Chains to come back and show you guys out. He goes, "That's not happening." I was like, "Well, it's gonna." He's like, "Well, we're not gonna lose. We already lost last week." And I said, "Well, back to back is the theme this week. Back to back champs. You're gonna get back to back losses." He was like, "Yeah, right." Boom, spoken into existence. The Niners have lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, the only way you're winning with the Niners if you bet Christian McCaffrey on his sportsmanship on the ticket. That's the only way you're making money these days, is to bet on him. And
I'm not betting him at all. I'm not. Yeah,
but he's on a run, but not this week. If you got Sam Darnold, I wouldn't bet on C-Mac doing anything. I wouldn't put no kind of plays on my ticket for him this week. But he had been on a run. That was the only winning thing he had.
Yeah, fantasy wise, just so you know, Stephon Diggs understands the fantasy owner's pain. He said he's not going to lie. I do be feeling a little bad when I F up on your parlays or your fantasies, but trust me, it ain't because I ain't trying to make Dad hit.
You need to, because I have you on my fantasy league, and I was very disappointed in those stats and numbers. Bills got owned ridiculously this past week.
They did. Terribly.
So
lost the Patriots. I mean, you lose the Patriots is just...
Raiders even beat the Patriots. I mean, my goodness.
I know.
But let's talk about the Bears, 1-5, a third string backup quarterback from a Division II school that we lose to. I don't know what else to say. I had to turn because I just couldn't believe it.
My thing is he going to take Justin's spot? Because I should probably pick him up instead of Justin now, because he's doing better than Justin Fields.
He's actually playing very well. He's playing very, very well. And then Detroit taking that L didn't help me. I mean, it just was a bad bus week.
And God bless that quarterback. He's like a D2 guy. He had 60 people with him in the stands to watch him because this was his first game. It was really cute to watch his speech after the game because he got the team ball.
Demolished us, over 30 points, beating the Raiders to a measly 12.
We also forgot to mention too is the Nuggets championship ring.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
A ring within a ring. First, we saw the Vegas Golden Knights. First of all, shout out to Jason of Beverly Hills because they do all these rings. The Golden Knights had the pendant within the ring, right? Well, the Nuggets now have a ring within a ring. Not to mention you can twist and turn the top of it and it changes the diamonds from like blue to another color, I think. I can't remember exactly the whole video. So
innovative what they do with great jewelry.
My God.
I can't wait to see the World Series ring.
If you don't want to go too flashy with the big bold one, you can wear the smaller one just to show that you still got it.
I like that. I do.
That is hard.
Their rings are even bigger. I saw that ring on Joker's finger last night when they did their rings there. It was still huge. I was like, oh my God.
Huge.
Yeah, a ring within a ring. Yeah. I said, oh my gosh. They just
a ring within a ring is wild. Hey, a couple quick girl power / I guess you can say it non-binary power. We want to give it up to Che Flores. Who is the first trans non-binary ref, and they mentioned that this is just to let kids know that we can exist. So they have been refereeing in NBA, WNBA, G League, a bunch of different games, and came out. Excuse me.
Yeah. Don't put me in a box.
Don't put me in a box. I can still do the same job. Don't matter. Good for them. We also want to shout out, there is a women's sports power brunch. The 5th annual is going to be here in Las Vegas during the Super Bowl week. So on February 7th, honorees include Las Vegas's own Sandra Douglas Morgan, who will be the Leadership Award honoree. And as well as her, they will also be honoring Nicole Lynn, who we all know as Jalen Hurd's agent, as well as many others, agent and president of Clutch Sports and Football, and the chief executive professional tennis for USTA and the US Open tournament, Stacey Allister, will be getting the Trailblazer Award honoree. Nicole's is the Dealmaker Award honoree. So this is all on February 7th. You can go to Sports Power Brunch to look into tickets for this event during Super Bowl week.
Boy, a lot's going to be happening during that week.
That week is going to be
It's going to be
crazy.
action-packed, for real.
We're already over a little over time, but we're just going to get into our picks. I did win last week.
I bet you did. I picked terrible, and everybody crashed out.
Yeah, you did pick kind of bad, but
sometimes I do that purposely, though.
it happens. It happens. What can we do, right? So we're on to week 8. So to make you feel better, because there's so many injuries and everything else right now, there are no bye teams this week. So all the teams are playing. So hopefully that helps manage fantasy. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. Thursday, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. Of course, the Bills just lost terribly. They are back home playing the Bucs, who are 3-3.
I'm gonna go with the Bills this time. I'm definitely going to think they're gonna redeem themselves, especially back at home.
Absolutely,
should be definitely a better turnout. So I'm gonna go with the Bills on that.
Same. Got the Houston Texans, who are 3-3, surprisingly almost, against the Carolina Panthers, who are 0-6. Mind you, the only team that is 0-6 and has yet to win a game. Is this the weekend?
CJ Stroud's been doing his thing though, so I can't not. I still got Houston Texans on this one.
Okay. I'm gonna say that maybe it's the Panthers week.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Panthers.
Too.
0-6. I mean, we saw weirder things happen this past weekend, so
Right.
All right, we got the Rams at the Cowboys. 3-4 Rams, the 4-2 Cowboys. Jerry's house. Hate to see it.
No Trayvon Diggs still, right?
And they got that. What's the receiver's name on the Rams? The rookie, man, he is something else. He had over 100 and some yards again last weekend. Not Takubu. What's his name? Kakubu? I'm shattering his name up. Damn. literally killing his name.
I'm gonna roll with the Cowboys on this one. I hate to say it, but I'm just gonna roll with them. They're at home.
I really don't like to. I'm not a big fan of rooting for a conference team, but I have to look up the kid's name now because I just
because they've been hyping up Micah Parsons quite often this week, and I just feel like anytime they hype these
Puka
players,
Nakua.
Okay.
Puka Nakua. Yes. I'm gonna go with. I'll go with. This one. Damn. I really want to go with the Rams, but then if they win, then they're going to be back to tie up with us, and I can't have that happen either.
Right.
So, yeah.
Go against the division,
all right.
girl. Go against the division.
All right. The Vikings are just coming off a win. Is Kirk Cousins the official multi-chain guy back? They're playing in Green Bay against the 2-4 Packers.
This is a horrible matchup.
It is, but it's also like one of those, Midwest rivalries. So,
Matt LaFleur's got to get his team together. I don't know what to say.
And the Packers just lost last week too, did they?
They did.
Yeah, they lost to the Broncos.
Right.
Unbelievable.
So I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm gonna roll with Mr. 50 Chains.
Yeah, he's been on a roll. They put that chain on him last week against the 49ers.
Who you got?
The chain. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go that way too.
Okay. All right. Okay, we got the Saints 3-4 at the Colts, who are also 3-4. I'm taking these Colts.
They're sorry, Derek Carr. Like y'all now learning and seeing, and Saints.
Listen, and Jonathan.
I want to go with it, but I'm going against these Colts.
And JT's in there playing a lot more now.
Yeah,
he's getting in.
Welcome back.
He's getting in. Welcome back. All right, we got the Patriots who took down the Bills playing in Miami. I don't think that's going to happen twice.
I don't think they're going to win that. I'm going to roll with these Dolphins.
All right, we got the Jets versus the Giants. The Giants got a win, felt all good about it, but they're still 2-5. Jets coming in there 3-3.
I think the Jets can beat them. Danny Dimes ain't playing.
And Waller's questionable right now.
Immediately. Because I did. I picked up Jared Goff and right in the time. So I'm
All
rolling.
right.
I'm rolling with the Jets.
The Jacksonville Jaguars 5-2 at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers have been on a roll. They've won the last 2 games. Like, what is going on
So
with
the
them?
Jaguars.
They are literally getting into their groove again. And I mean, Trevor Lawrence is that guy, though. It's kind of hard.
Man.
But I'm going to go with the Steelers. I'm going to see what the Steelers do with this.
All right. I'm going to take the Jaguars. All right. We got the Falcons. People are pissed off that the running back hasn't been playing much. Said he might have the flu or something, or a headache. Against the Titans, who are going to be without, what's his name?
They don't have Derrick Henry?
No, the quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is not playing. They have their Will Levis will be playing, their rookie that they drafted this year will be most likely starting.
I'm taking the Falcons. They're just doing too well right now. I'm just going to roll with them.
Same. We got the Eagles 6-1 against the Commanders 3-4 in Washington. I don't think that's going to be helpful, though.
I don't know if this is going to be a ticket bust or not, but I'm going to roll with the Eagles on this.
Okay. The Browns are coming to Seattle for the throwback game. We get to it's all the throwback jerseys. I almost went home for this game.
Yeah, I can't never.
No Deshaun Watson. The defense for Cleveland is great, but
yeah, Myles Garrett. I saw him
we're at
jump
home.
that box, and that's why he's jumping over folks and being so strong defensively. I still have you guys winning this game just because of where it is, and the 12th man situation is the loudest,
and it's a throwback game. We also just picked up Frank Clark, who was a previous Legion of Boom member. I'm not Legion of Boom, but he was on Legion of Boom member who we drafted. He went to Kansas City when it rings with Kansas City.
You got all your legends in the building, including Ghosts.
We'll see how much gas he has left in the tank. Baltimore Ravens at the Cardinals. I realize the Cardinals are 1-6. I thought they had at least 2.
But Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, I'm not counting them out.
Oh, you're not. I wouldn't even.
I'm going with the Ravens.
All right, we got the Chiefs in Denver. Will Traylor show up in the Miracle Mile?
Another divisional matchup that I hate because there's 2 teams in my division that I don't want either one.
Well, I'm not. I can't root for the Broncos. So
I don't want to go for them either. I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs. As long as Taylor Swift's at the game, they'll win a game.
When is she going on tour? When can we stop seeing her in the booth?
You'll never stop seeing her. This is the biggest, best money making and influence of getting NFL people to watch the game. That you never like. This was such a smart money move for the NFL to do this. It's
talk about script writing. The script writing was,
and talk about not to mention the endorsements that Travis Kelce is getting and the looks that he's getting. He was a shadow of a fine man that if you looked him up, then you'd be like, oh,
he did grow his beard back though. He's not just wearing the creeper police stash no more.
Well, of course, he's going back to being Trav because now he can get away with being Trav and being marketable. You have to understand that the NFL went up 3 million in followers because of Taylor Swift. Their 25 jumped to 28.5 to her 500 million followers she has just because of the influence. So they're going to let that rock, and they're going to keep showing her too because these Swifties are now into football. So it's a great money marketing thing. I just wonder when the ride's going to end and how it's going to end. Is it going to end at Super Bowl? Because I'm predicting the Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl just for the fact of Taylor Swift.
Oh, God, I hope not.
It will be the most watched game because of Taylor Swift. The ratings will be out the window. I mean, it's a marketing genius thing. I can't be mad at it. But, yeah, Chiefs, I'm going to roll with on that.
Bengals 3-3 at San Francisco 5-2. Where is Jim Burrow?
Where redeem themselves? But they don't have.
What's with the Bengals though? I thought this was like a championship caliber team at one point. What are we doing?
I know we're getting into week 8. It's kind of scary because Joe Burrow has not gone Burrow. He's not cold right now.
We're 3-3. We're at 500. Burrow, you better get your ice packs on and start freezing shit up. I mean,
they got San Francisco still favored to win. I don't really want them to win out of spite.
I'm gonna roll with the Bengals just
because with freaking Sam Darnold, I will be astonished. Plus, they got the
And
number one
isn't
defense in the
Debo
league, so I
isn't
will go with
Debo
it.
still out or something too?
I don't know, but their defense is still on. I'm going to go with the 49ers on it and see what happens.
All right. The Bears, the 2-5, but the Chargers 2-4.
I want the Bears to demolish the Chargers. I really, really do. Speaking of which, my friend Sarah, Laura, if anybody's interested, has tickets to that Chargers game. It is a evening game, I believe, or afternoon game.
Sunday night
Yeah, it's a
football.
5:00 game. She has 2 tickets to that Chargers game. Her seats $110 a piece. She won't be able to go. Chargers versus
nice.
Bears. You guys can write in on Girl Chat's group page if you're interested. I'll check with her and still see if she has the tickets. But she's selling them $110 a piece for Sunday
That's
night's
great.
game.
That's a great game.
Saying all that to say, I hate to go against these Bears. I would love for them to quash them, but they're not capable of doing that.
Well, go
with
for
Justin
it.
Fields and all of that.
Maybe Justin doesn't come back in time.
They're not able to do it. I'm sorry, with Justin Herbert. There's no way. So I'm going with the Chargers.
Okay. And then we got your Raiders at the
We ain't winning
Lions.
this damn game. I'm going with the Detroit Lions. I'm not about to
I was
believe in
gonna
this
say
team.
I can't really help you on that one, Mo.
No, I'm going with Detroit.
It would be one of those upsets for Monday if that was the case. So we could see
I would love
2 upsets in a row.
I would love it. And I want to say Detroit so the Raiders will be motivated to win because I've lost all faith.
Yeah. Hey, in case you guys are just catching up on the show or you're cutting in late, we want to just again shout out head coach for the Lady Rebels, Lindy La Rocque, who was on. You can welcome to watch the replay. You can go to our YouTube page and watch the full episode that we posted later this evening, as well as remind you about the UNLV Lady Rebels have their Halloween Spooktacular, which will be this Saturday at the Cox Pavilion from 5 to 7. 5 to 7 is like the events, the trunk or treat, hang with the Lady Rebels in costume. And Lindy made it clear, feel free to wear your costumes. It is Halloween. Let's get out there and enjoy it. And then 6 to 7 will be the practice for the ladies inside Cox Pavilion. We get to kind of get your first eyes on the team and see how they're looking. So again, big shout out to them. Make sure you get out and see these ladies. As much as you rep for these aces and you love these aces, go support these Lady Rebels because they have also won back-to-back championships.
They sure are. And they're about that action. So go check them out.
Hello.
For real.
Hello. And that's it for us. Another great Wednesday, another great show. And we'll catch you sometime next week.
Yes. Have a spooky, safe time for Halloween.
Yes. Enjoy your Halloween for sure.
Yes. Get as much
all right,
candy
y'all.
as you can.
Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
All right. We out.